there, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. On this episode of Lipstick Looks, we dived into a beautiful electric blue. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this electric blue look, then stay tuned. Okay, so since we are doing a blue lip today, I tailored a really cool look for you guys. Literally. So all the colors that we are going to be using are cool tone colors to go with this really beautiful blue bold lip. So to start off, I'm going to use my contour powder. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're not going to do bronzer and contour, so I'm just going to use my contour powder as a color. So I'm going to use my angled brush. All of the brushes that I am using, I'm going to go ahead and link them for you down below. They are all under $8. Some of them are from Shop AOA and some of them are from e.l.f. You guys are really going to love these brushes. So I'm just going to take my angled brush, I'm going to take my contour powder, and I'm just going to place it right along the hairline. So I still want to warm up my skin, but I want to use absolutely no warm tones for this specific look. So right where you would actually put your bronzer is where you're going to put your contour powder. So we're going to use this for two things. And you can see how you're still getting definition, you're still getting a little bit of color to your skin, but it's not really necessarily warm. So you're going to place it right on top of your cheekbone. You're not going to go underneath your cheekbone. That's going to bring your face downward. So you want to place it right at the highest part of your cheekbone, right over here. And then be sure to actually touch your hairline because you don't want to see where your makeup starts and stops. And then if you guys do have lighter hair and you guys do get makeup on your hair, you guys can just wipe it afterwards. It's just really important that you guys do get it on your hairline, like I said, so you guys don't see where your makeup starts and stops. Perfect. Now once we're done with the jawline, we're going to bring it down right over here, right up underneath the chin. This is really cool. It kind of erases anything if you have anything right over here. Be sure to bring the color down on your neck. And then once I'm done with this side, I'm going to take a look at you right in the camera so you guys can see the difference and so you guys can see how we're still getting that contour, we're still getting definition, but it's not really, you know, bronzy or super warm tone. Great, so just to give you an idea, I'm going to take a look at you right in the camera. So we still get that really beautiful definition, but again, it's not super bronzy. So now I'm just going to continue and do the same thing on the other side. Great, now once you're done adding the contour powder, now we're going to contour our nose. So instead of re-dipping back into the powder, we're just going to use whatever's left over on our brush. We're going to take it right underneath the tip of the nose. This will lift and shorten your nose. And then also take it right down the sides of your nose. This will make your nose look a little bit more narrow and just show off the shape of your nose. So go right on either side. I like to do it with my bronzer brush, so whatever's left over on my contour brush, I'll just use that. I don't like to take a smaller brush and then go back in and define my nose. I just feel like it looks too artificial and it looks very obvious that you have a contour on. So if you want to get a natural definition, just use whatever's left over on your contour brush, and if you want to go back in, then you can go back in and just go into the areas that you want to add a little bit more definition, and you can instantly see how it really does overall shape your nose. Now I do want to use this contour powder as our blush, so I'm just going to take a little bit of the contour powder and I'm going to place this right over our cheek because like I said, I want absolutely no color for this look, and you guys will see at the very end what I mean. You'll see how everything really does tie together. Great. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of this contour powder and do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to place it right on the apple of my cheek. So right where you would place your blush is where you're going to place this contour powder. Great. Now that we are done contouring, I'm just going to take a little bit of whatever's left over on my powder brush just to blend everything together. So I'm just going to one time take my powder brush and take it all over the work that we did just to make everything look more natural, more seamless, and it also puts a little veil over your skin so it kind of looks like you're blushing from within. So now that we are done with that, now we're going to move on to highlight. And for this look, I don't want to do anything reflective. I want it to be cool tone, and I also want it to be completely matte. So I'm not going to use any shines, any sheens for this specific look, but I still do want to highlight. So we're going to highlight with a completely matte powder. So the matte powder that I am going to be using today is KKW Beauty's Baking No. 1 powder. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this with my fan brush. So I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm just going to work on the back of my lid. You'll see that there is powder on the back of your lid, so you don't really need to dip this into the actual loose powder. You're going to pick up way too much loose powder and it's going to be very messy. So just work off the back of your lid and tap off the excess, and you're going to see how you still can highlight with a matte powder. So I'm just going to place this right at the apples of my cheek right over here. So right at the highest part of the cheekbone. I'm going to go back in and just do a little bit more because you can always add, but you can't take away, and you can see instantly how you still get that elevated definition, but it's not super shiny and super wet looking. So now I'm just going to take this powder and do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to place it right at the high part of my cheekbone. And then I'm also going to place this powder right on top of my eyebrows. So as soon as we're done placing it right over here, I'm also going to take a little bit of this powder and I'm going to place it right on top of my eyebrows. This does lift and arch your brows. So right where you would put your actual highlighter is where you're going to put this matte highlighter too. And then we're going to take this matte highlighter and we're going to place it right at the tip of the nose. Never take a full stripe and do it down your whole entire nose. That will make your nose look longer. So just take a little bit and put it right on the tip of the nose. That will draw attention to the tip and make your nose look more petite. So now that we are done with that, we're going to take a little bit of powder and we're going to do some right on our Cupid's bow, so right over here. This will lift and make your lips look a little bit poutier, a little bit fuller, which is really pretty. And now just for a little bit extra, I'm just going to do a teeny bit more because I want it to be super, super highlighted. Great. I love highlighting with matte powders. It's really pretty because a lot of people don't, depending on their work environment, they can't really wear too much makeup. So if you're the type of person out there who maybe works in like a medical work environment and you don't want to look too made up, using a matte powder to highlight looks more natural and more subtle. And also too, if you're really, really fair, I know I used to have a lot of customers who were super, super fair or would pull a lot of red, so they could not wear blush at all. So if you're the type of person that naturally has a lot of redness in their skin and they have to use a lot of green, to color correct and cancel out the discoloration in your skin, you will love using a bronzer as your blush because you still get a little bit of color, but it's not pink or peach, so that way you don't get red throughout the day. So this is really, really great if, like I said, if you work in a more, medical work environment, or if you simply just have red skin, you will love using this as your bronzer, and you will love highlighting with a matte powder. It just overall looks way more natural. Great. So now that we are done with our face, now we're going to move on to eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my eyeshadow palette, and then I'll meet you right back here so we can do the eyes. Okay, moving on to eyes, you're going to need a synthetic eyeshadow brush and your concealer. So just take a little bit of your concealer, place it right on the back of your hand. Great, and now we're going to take our synthetic brush. It's very important that you use a synthetic brush whenever dealing with any cream product specifically formulated for the eyes and face, just so that way it does glide on evenly. So I'm just going to take this concealer, I'm going to place it right over my eyelid. So I'm going to do this from my lash line all the way up underneath my eyebrows. I'm going to use this as my eyeshadow primer because I want this look to be super white, super intense. So I really, really want it to be overall just a blank canvas for my eyelid. So I'm just going to continue applying this all over my eyelid. Great, now once you get to the outside corner, just use your finger to blend, just so that way you don't see where your concealer meets your makeup. So just take your finger, and the warmth of your finger will naturally blend out that concealer, so that way you don't see where it starts and stops. Beautiful. So now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to take a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use my synthetic brush to place this all over my eyelid. Great, now once you're done applying that concealer on your eyelid, again, just take your finger and just blend it out so that way you don't see where it meets your makeup. Great. Now once we are done with that, now we're going to set it with a eyeshadow powder. So grab your really big eyeshadow brush, and the color that I am going to be using today is from Bobbi Brown in the shade Champagne. So it's just a really, really light white color, so just a traditional champagne color. So I'm just going to take this color and I'm going to set my eyelid. So I'm just going to take that really big brush and I'm just going to take this in stippling motions and just set my eyelid. So that way we have the perfect blank canvas for the eyeshadow. Now my eyeshadow primer matches my skin tone, so for that reason I am using my concealer, because my concealer is a lot lighter than my eyeshadow primer. But if you have a eyeshadow primer that is white, like my concealer, then you can use that. You don't have to use your under eye concealer. Now, if you don't have anything that resembles the color that's on my eyelid, you can just use a flat white powder. That will give you the same look that we are going for. And then just take the tip of the brush and just kind of soften it right over here. Perfect. Great. So now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side with this flat white powder. Okay, once you're done setting your eyelids, now we're going to move on to adding color. So to stick with the cool theme, I'm going to be using a really beautiful flat matte gray color from Bobbi Brown in the shade Cement. So it's this really beautiful cool tone gray color. So I'm going to use my medium-sized blending brush. I'm going to coat both sides of my brush. And for this specific eyeshadow look, I'm going to take this right at the outside corner. So I'm going to place it right over here. So right in the outside corner of the eye. Perfect. Now once we're done placing this color right at the outside corner of our eye, you can see how I'm kind of placing it a little bit into the crease as well. I'm not fully taking it into the crease, but I'm placing it right at the outside corner, and then whatever's left over, you can see how I'm kind of taking it into the shape of my eye right over here. Great. Now once we are done adding that, we're going to take the same exact color with the same exact brush, and we're just going to place this gray right at the inside corner of our eye just to show off the shape of our eye. This makes your eyes look a little bit more round, and since I want to do more of a gray theme, I don't want my eyes to be really bright and, you know, really light and gold on the inside corner. I really want to show off just the grayness and the overall coolness, so for that reason I do want this look to be a little bit smokier, a little bit darker. So I'm placing this gray color right at the inside corner right over here. We're not going to take anything right down the middle of our eye because I do want that to still remain light. So I'm just going to place this right at the inside corner. Great, look how beautiful that is. Now once we are done with that, we are going to take our blending brush. So always have a clean eyeshadow brush on hand if you are new to my channel, just to blend and soften colors. Now if you don't have a lot of brushes to use, Shop AOA has this really great in-between eyeshadow brush cleaner that you can take your brush on and just wipe your brush like this, and it's a dry sponge, and it really does clean your brush, so that way you do have a clean brush in between uses. So now just take the tip of your brush and just soften the work that you just did. So now I'm just going to soften everything. I'm not going to go over and mix. I'm literally just softening the work that we just did. So be sure to stay right on top of the work that you just did. And you'll see once I'm done how it really does just soften all the work that we just did. Great. So now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take a little bit of this gray powder and I'm going to place it right at the outside corner, right over here. Always add a little bit and then add more if you want to. So deposit it right at the outside corner, and then whatever's left over, just kind of take that right into the crease. So bring it right up into the crease. Perfect. Take a step back, take a look in the mirror. I'm going to add a teeny bit more right over here. Perfect. Now once you're done with that, now we're going to move on to the inside corner. You guys are going to love this look. It looks so cool. I am obsessed. Great. So now I'm going to take my blending brush, but before I go on to this eye, I'm just going to wipe it off on my hand just to make sure I don't transfer any gray from this side to the next side, because we already have enough pigment on our eye. So now I'm just going to take the tip of the brush and just soften the work that we just did, just so that way there is no harsh line. Beautiful. Now once we are done with that, now we're going to move on to our lower lash line. So for the lower lash line, grab your really small blending brush, the one that we use specifically for our lower lash line. And now we're going to take the same exact gray powder, but for this step, go ahead and grab your handheld mirror, because we're going to look all the way up into our mirror, and then we're going to place this cool tone brown color right up underneath our lash line. Now really be sure to tap off the excess, just so that way you don't get any eyeshadow up into your eye. So just sweep that right up underneath your eyelashes. Great, now I'm just going to add a teeny bit more. little bit of eyeshadow underneath your eye really does tie the look together. It is very important that you place just a little bit of color right up underneath your lash line. You'll see once I'm done and when I take a look at you in the camera, how overall it really does connect the eyeshadow and makes it look more seamless, and it does make your eyes look a little bit bigger, which is really pretty. And it also makes your eyeshadow look less made up. So when I take a look at you in the camera, you can see how over here my eyeshadow looks a little bit heavy, but when I take a look at you this way, how it overall looks more seamless and more soft. So now I'm just going to take that same color and sweep it right up underneath my eyelashes. Great, now once you're done applying that gray color underneath your lash line, grab your blending brush and just soften the work that you just did, just to make sure that you don't see where your eyeshadow meets your makeup. So this step is very, very important, especially for the lower lash line. Now, as soon as you are done, take whatever's left over on your brush. There is still leftover pigment from softening and blending all of that gray work that we just did. So just take this and place it right up into your crease. And you'll see once I'm done how whatever's left over still gives you a little bit of definition in your crease, but you're not physically taking your brush, dipping it into the gray powder, because I still want that lightness to be the main focus of our eyes. So now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to take whatever's left over on the brush and I'm just going to sweep that into the crease, just so that way we do get a little bit of definition, but again, we're not distracting from the main center focus of that lightness right over there. Great. So now that we are done with our eyes, now we're going to move on to eyebrows. So I picked out something really fun for you guys. I'm going to show you guys how to fill your eyebrows if you guys don't have any eyebrow product, if you guys only have gel eyeliners. So this is one of my favorite steps, which is really cool. You can kind of customize your own eyebrow color. So for this, you're going to need 2 gel eyeliners. These gel eyeliners are $1 from Shop AOA, so they're only $2 for your own custom eyebrow filler. So I'm going to be using brown and black, and we're just going to work off the back of our lid. So to grab any lid, and for this you're going to need an angled brush. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dip a little bit. So I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to dip it into the brown gel eyeliner, and then once I'm done dipping into my brown gel eyeliner, I'm going to take the brown gel liner and I'm just going to place it right on the back of my lid. So I'm going to take that pigment, place it right on the back of my lid. Great. Now once I'm done with that, I'm just going to take a little bit of the black and I'm going to place that right on top of the lid as well and mix all the colors together. Now once I'm done mixing the colors together, I'm going to place this product right on the back of my hand and you'll see how it's the perfect shade for my eyebrows. Now if your eyebrows are a little bit lighter, just add a little bit more brown. If your eyebrows are a little bit darker, just add a little bit more black. So that's how you can make your own eyebrow filler if you guys don't have any. Or if you guys want to fill in your brows and you guys only have an eyebrow pencil. So this is really, really fun, and you don't have to go out there and spend, you know, $30 on an eyebrow filler, which is great. Now whenever you do dip into any eye gel, be sure to flip it upside down on your counter just so that way it doesn't dry out on you. And for this step, you're going to need a spoolie. So just brush your hairs in the direction that you want them to go in. That is very important. So once you're done combing your hairs, now we're going to start filling in our eyebrows. It's very important that you start filling in your brows from the outside corner. If you take too much color and put it at the front of your brows, it's going to make them look too thick, too masculine. And everyone needs a little bit more on the outside corner. That's where our eyebrow hair is a little bit more sparse. So just take a little bit and place it right at the outside corner like this. I personally think that freehanding your eyebrows is a lot easier than drawing them on with a eyebrow pencil. So if any of you guys out there have any trouble filling in your eyebrows, try freehanding them. You guys will have more control. If you have any sparse areas, you can go in between your eyebrow hair too. A lot of people think that they have to go in the direction of their hairs, but if it's not coating your skin and you want to make your eyebrows overall look thicker, you can go in between your eyebrows. And then once you're done filling your eyebrows, always be sure to comb them through afterwards. The spoolie naturally puts little lines into your eyebrows, so it makes it look more natural, makes them look more like hair. Great. So now I'm just going to comb this in the direction that I want them to go in. Beautiful. And now I'm going to fill my eyebrows on the other side using whatever is left over on the back of my hand. And again, be sure to start at the outside corner. Great. Now once you're done filling in your eyebrows, grab your spoolie, comb them through. Perfect. Now to tie this look together, I want our natural features to be really striking since everything else on the face is a little bit more muted. So I'm going to take my tinted eyebrow gel from Shop AOA, and I'm going to place this right over the work that we just did to seal everything together. Perfect. Whatever you do to one side, always do to the other. So if you got a fresh tube of product on one side, re-dip the tube back in the product so you can have the same exact look on the other side. Great. So now that we are done with our eyebrows, now we're going to move on to lips, which is so exciting. I can't wait for you guys to see this lip color that I picked out for you guys. So to start off, I'm going to start off by lining my lips. I'm actually going to fill in my whole entire lips with lip liner because I'm going to do something special afterwards after I'm done adding the lipstick. So that will really help adhere the product to my lips. So the lip liner that I am using today is from shopaoa.com in the shade Lit, which is super cute. It is a really beautiful blue shade. How fun is that, you guys? Great. So I'm just going to fill in my lips all the way, starting off with the bottom lip. You guys can also warm up the lip liner on the back of your hand if you feel like it's not working. Alright guys, so I just got done filling in my lips, but before I do the lipstick and my surprise item that's going to tie this lip look together, I'm going to do my lashes off camera, and then I'm going to come back here and we're going to finalize the look, so I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I just got done doing my lashes off camera, so now we're going to finish off the look with our lipstick and a surprise item that I'm going to put on for you guys. So the lipstick that I am using is from Shop AOA in the shade Royalty. It is a part of their matte lipstick collection. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this lipstick, I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to place this right over my lips. I love how blue these lipsticks are, which are so, so pretty. Okay, so the last and final step, we're going to take our eyeshadow. So taking a little bit of powder, placing it right on top of your lips will make your lipstick last longer, and also too, this is going to make the blue just look super, super intense. So I'm going to take the blue in the KKW Beauty Mario palette. This is such a beautiful reflective blue. And I'm going to take this with my finger, and I'm going to place it right over my lips. I'm going to do the bottom lip first. You can already see how it's instantly making your lips look a little bit more metallic. So this is really fun. Like a lot of people don't know that you can put eyeshadow on your lips, which is really fun. So intense, so metallic, and you can feel the difference. It really does dry out your lipstick. Great, now I'm just going to do a teeny bit more in the center. Makes your lips feel like really, really soft, almost like suede. Super, super soft. So it dries them out, but in a way that it's going to make your lipstick last longer. It's not like drying it out where your lips like feel chapped. Oh my god, absolutely obsessed. How fun is that, you guys? So fun, so beautiful. This lipstick is not going anywhere because we have lip liner all over our lips, and then we have that layer of lipstick, and then we set all of the product with the eyeshadow powder. So now to finish off the look, my favorite step, taking my makeup setting spray, I'm just going to set this all over my face just to make sure everything does last. And you guys can really see how taking cool colors overall just really goes with this blue theme. If I was to do bronze or peach or pink, it's just not going to overall go with this cool tone look that we are going for. So I hope you guys love this look just as much as I do. This is so fun, so beautiful. If you guys want to recreate this look, let me know down in the comments section. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today.